So again, if you have 2 blocks or 2 books, a firm pillow or bolster for the end of class, and a blanket too if you want for the end of class when you're in your Shavasana. We're going to put the bolster and the blanket off to the side. So taking breaks whenever you need to, modifying whenever you need to. It's a 45-minute morning flow, and I'm Patricia, so welcome. We're going to start on our side today. So blocks are at the top of the mat if you're using them. And you're just going to lay onto your left side body. And just extend the left arm down along the mat. Release your ear onto your bicep. And just see if you can straighten the legs, stacking the feet, stacking the hips. And just let your ear rest onto your arm. You can use this top arm in front of your chest for support, or you can take the arm on top of the hip here and just challenge the balance a little bit. So closing down the eyes if that feels okay, and just start to root down through the left hand, the left hip, the left foot. And try to see if you can spread the toes a bit more towards the shin and reach the heels towards the front of your mat. And just see if you can find the breath there into the body, into this shape. We'll try to see if we can lift or cinch through the left side of the waist. And try to lift a little bit through those bottom ribs. We'll inhale here, expanding gently. And then exhaling, just gently settle into the pose. We're going to reach the right leg up to the sky. You're going to point your toes. So lift the leg up to the sky, so externally rotating in that hip. And then slowly using the inner thighs, bring the leg back down. So again, like that, I inhale, lift the leg, really energize or grow the leg a little bit longer. And then use those upper inner thighs to hug the legs back in. Try that again, inhaling, lifting, feeling the glute muscles starting to turn on. Exhaling, slowly lowering. Now I'm going to inhale, lift the leg up. Now stay here if you'd like, or see if you can hover your arm. So reach the arm up to the sky. Maybe take your head off your bicep and hold for 3. And just embracing the gentle shifts that are taking place for 2. Try to bring everything back to your center. And for 1, slowly bring the hand and the leg down. You're going to step the right foot in front of the left leg. So try to get it as close to the thigh as you can and come up onto your left forearm. Okay, from here, press down into your right foot and lift and lower your bottom leg. And I want to add a little point through the toes and then a little flex through the foot. Okay, so really pushing down through your front foot here as much as you can while we lift and lower the bottom leg using that upper inner thigh. Good morning. Okay, and then when you're ready, we'll slowly take that leg down, press down through the foot and lift your top foot. So point your toes, lift the knee up, and then tap the toes behind your knee. So just lifting and lowering, really just tapping the big toe to the floor. And keep thinking about your bottom waist, your bottom rib cage. Try to cinch them, try to lift them up, and keep hugging the left shoulder into the back. When you're ready, plant the foot behind you. Really plant the foot. Circle your top arm. Come into the cactus position. So warming up through that thoracic spine here into the shoulder. So reach that arm over your head. Hug the elbow in towards the side body. And just do a few circles like this, exaggerating the movement. And when you're ready, we'll cactus the arm, open up the chest, and then see if maybe you can lift your hip. So it's like a wild thing on your forearm. Use your bottom glute, use your bottom shoulder, and then slowly take the hip down. Press up into your left palm and take the right arm into the inner thigh, inner knee, and open up your left chest, your left pec muscle here. So reach the left arm behind you. And then take the forearm back down, reach the right arm up and over. Get a nice side body stretch. Try that again. Come all the way up. Take the arm to the inside of the leg. Reach those left fingertips as much as you can out and behind you. Try that one more time. Take the forearm down, reach the right arm up and over. Inhaling, coming up, open up the twist. Exhaling into your lateral bend. We're going to slowly start to come up. You're just going to come to the other hip. So swinging the legs over, come onto the right hip, reach the right arm, and take your ear to your bicep. So again, I'm trying to stack my ankles. I'm trying to stack my hips, stack my shoulders. Okay, left hand can support you in front of your chest here. You can have the arm on your hip. And just embracing the shifts here. See if you can lift or cinch that right side waist. Feel kind of a lift there in those bottom ribs as well. So nothing's like really sinking to the floor. But then I'm pressing down to my right hand, my right hip, and my right foot. So I feel a little bit more rooted. Take one breath here, inhale. And exhale, settle into the shape. Reaching the left toes up to the sky, engaging through those left glutes. And then slowly bring your leg back down. Inner thighs are hugging in. Again, like that inhale, like you're growing that left leg a little longer. So we're actively getting into the shape. I'm not pulling myself into it with my hands. I'm lifting and lowering with a bit more control, going a little bit deeper each time. Now lifting the leg, pause here, reach through the toes. You can stay here, or maybe you start to hover the left arm up to the sky. Maybe you start to hover your head off your arm and hold here for 3. Embracing the shifts for 2. Keep coming back to your center. And then we'll slowly take the arm, take the leg down. You're going to bend the top knee, plant the foot in front of your thigh as much as you can. Come onto your right forearm, okay? And then I'm lifting and lowering my bottom leg. So flexing and pointing the toes as you lift and lower. So again, I'm really trying to activate those upper inner thighs today, lifting and lowering. Can you root down through your front foot, the front heel? Good. And then when you're ready, flex the foot, take the foot down, lift the top knee up, point the toes, and then tap the toes behind you. So lifting and lowering. And again, try to see if you can lift those bottom ribs, cinch the side waist a bit more, and hug your right shoulder into your back. So nothing sinking to the floor. Okay, last one, tapping that big toe forward and then behind you. Now plant your whole foot to the floor and then circle your top arm. So try to cactus the arm so you're really feeling that nice stretch there, that nice opening in the shoulder. Okay, so nice big circle over your head, hug your elbow into the side of the body. One more time. You're gonna circle it, lift your chest, lift your gaze, and then maybe lift your right hip. So it's a wild thing on your forearm here. And then we'll slowly take the hip down. Good. When you're ready, push through your feet, come all the way up onto your palm. Take the arm to the inside of your knee. Open up your chest, reach your arm a little bit behind you. Take the forearm back down, sweep that left arm up and over so you feel a nice side body stretch. Try that again. Inhaling, resisting the arm and leg as you reach that arm a little bit more behind you. And then take the forearm down, lift that arm up and over. And eyes can be open or closed throughout the practice here once you know the flow. And then take the forearm down, reach the arm up and over. Good. When you're ready, we'll slowly bend the knees, come into a tabletop facing the front of your mat. Good. Let's just spread our fingers nice and equally here and do some circles to the right. So gripping the ground here with your finger pads. Trying to suction cup the palms to the ground and then switch directions. So into the hips, into the wrists. For some of us that did a lot of shoveling yesterday, right? Take your time, go slow. And then whenever you're ready, turn the fingertips to point back towards your knees. The closer it is to your knees, the more accessible this is going to be. Inner wrists in line with the mats, the top of the mat somewhat. Curl the toes under and just sit back a little bit so you feel a stretch. So pressing down through the palms, each finger. And if you notice, pressing down through different fingers Okay, you're going to feel different parts of the forearm, so you can play with that as well. Inhaling here and exhaling. We'll peel through our fingers nice and slow. Sit back towards your heels, open and close the hands, and then add a little shake side to side, a little bit forward and back. We're going to come forward into our tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Really root down through your fingers. We'll lift our knees a little bit off the floor. Push the hands forward in space energetically, and then lift your hips up and back. Find your downward dog. Okay, so take a couple moments here. Okay, we're just going to move around a little bit. You can pedal your heels, you can sway your hips, you can shake out your head a bit, maybe open and close the mouth, release any tension in the jaw. It takes a little bit more time in the morning to warm everything up. We're going to take our heels over to the left. So I'm going to see if I can bend my back knee a bit and then try to lift your right hip up, come a little bit onto the right fingertips and let your head go. So you're feeling a nice side body stretch. And then switch sides, heels over to the right. If you just want to do heels over to the right and stay here, that's good too. Or you can bend your back knee, come onto your left fingertips and try to let your head really dangle. So you feel this nice stretch in the side of the waist, into the low back. And just try that again, heels over to the left. Try to bend your back knee, get a little bit lighter on those right fingertips. All right, here's the tricky part. Press into your back foot, press it into the ground, and see if you can lift your right knee up to the sky. Maybe you extend the leg if you want to give it a shot. If not, the heels are just going over to the side. Okay, when you're ready, bend your top knee, come forward into a side plank. Stack your feet, or you can take your left shin down and extend your leg into your side plank. Okay, so pause here, or you're lifting that top knee up. You're tapping the toes in front of the knee. Tap, just like we did on the ground. Lift the knee up, tap the toes behind, and then plant your foot. Circle your top arm into that wild thing. Hug the elbow into the side ribs, lift your chest. Then look down nice and slowly. Take your right knee towards your shoulder. You can take your hand down here as well. Step forward as lightly as you can towards the top of the mat and come into your lunge. So again, hands can be on blocks or books here if you need. We're going to sweep the arms up to the sky on the high lunge. Inhale. Big toe mounds are really rooted here. Take the fingertips down to the ground or blocks. Hamstring stretch. Straighten your front leg. Come onto your front heel. Spread through your toes. Good. Bend your front knee above your heel. And then sweep the right arm up to the sky. Easy twist. Hug your upper inner thighs in. Come all the way up. Keep twisting to the right. And then bend your back knee a little bit. Take your fingertips to your hamstring and reach your left arm up and back. Windmill the arms. Take the hands to block to the floor. And then lift that left leg up. So you're in a warrior three. Wrap your left hip down. Feel your upper inner thighs hugging in and see if you can lift your low belly up. Okay, so I'm going to just give this a try. You're going to cross your left leg behind your right. Reach the leg out to the side. Try to bend your bottom knee. And then reach it back up, warrior three. So I'm crossing that left leg behind the right. So you're reaching it out to the side or maybe out to that right corner. And then lift the leg up a little higher. Try that one more time. Cross it behind. And then see if maybe you can reach for your ankle or your foot with that right hand. And you use this block here underneath your hand if you need it, or you take your hand to the floor. And now see if you can keep holding onto the leg here as you lift your left knee up to the sky. So hold on to the foot or the ankle. If you're not holding on anything, it's just nice and active, both hands down to the ground. This is like a standing split, but the top hip is open. Okay, I'm squeezing my heel to my glute. I'm going to get a deeper hamstring stretch here. So let your head go as much as you can. And you'll feel a nice quad stretch in that top thigh as well. When you're ready, reach the toes down to the ground. Go nice and slow. Take your blocks with you if you'd like. Turn to your left. Turn all your toes out and bend into your back knee. Come onto your front heel. So Skandasana. Come back through center. I'm gonna try to keep my heel rooted here. So you're gonna wanna lift the heel, some of us, try to keep it rooted down. So just don't go as deep. Come back through center, inhale. Moving through your feet, exhale. Face the back of your mat. Find your lunge. So all your toes are pointed to the back of the mat. Feel those upper inner thighs connecting. Sweep your arms up, find your high lunge when you're ready. Big toe mounds are really rooted. Take your hands back down to the ground or blocks, hamstring stretch. Come onto your front heel. Pull the toes back towards your shin a little bit more. Bend your front knee above your heel, hug your upper inner thighs, and then peel your left arm open so you feel that stretch. Good. Come all the way up, keep twisting to the left, bend your back knee a little bit, and then take the fingertips to the hamstring, reach that right arm up and over. You can look to the side or you can look up at the hands. Windmill the arms, nice and slow, big circle. Take your hands down to the ground or blocks. Lift that right leg up to your warrior three. So again, try to level off the hips. So using those upper inner thighs will help. And then when you're ready, cross that right leg behind the left, bend your front knee, and then lift it back up. So you really want to feel the legs squeezing towards each other as you reach that right leg kind of towards the corner or out to the side, and then lift it back up. And you're trying to bend your front knee here. Pause, you stay here, or you reach for the foot of the ankle. Maybe you take your hand down beside your hip and start to bend your elbow. And then we're gonna lift that right knee up to the sky. So quad stretch again, okay? And you can keep the gaze straight down if that feels better for you, or you're starting to fold towards the thigh and look back. So lift your hip up, open it up, lift the knee to the sky as you let your head go. And then when you're ready, slowly release, reach your toes back, take your blocks with you if you'd like. Turn to the side of your mat, turn your toes out again. Bend into your front knee, come onto your back heel. Come through center. Maybe you start to use your hands less and less if you'd like. Back through center, inhale. And exhale. You're gonna face the front of the mat. Take your blocks with you if you'd like. Okay, we'll take the hands down to the ground, step back to your plank position. Good, we're gonna take the knees down to the ground. Reach your heart forward and lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Roll the shoulders into the back on the inhale, cobra, reach the heart forward. And then exhale, peel yourself down. Just try this again. So circle through your shoulders, pressing down through the feet and the hands. And just make this really nice and fluid, starting to just open up the chest and the shoulders. And then we'll slowly release the chest down. Push yourself up into your tabletop. Good, curl your toes under, sit back towards your heels. Find a child's pose to get a nice stretch there through the bottoms of your feet here as well. Take a nice good breath, inhale. Good, and exhale. Come forward to your tabletop, come onto the backs of your hands. Turn your fingertips to point in here. Okay, we'll do two tight fists, knuckles are pointed in. You're gonna straighten your arms any amount that you can. Okay, now bend your elbows out to the side, open up your hands. And then we'll come all the way back up, two tight fists. Keep pressing down through the backs of your hands here. Straighten the arms so you feel a stretch. And then bend your elbows out to the side. Open up your hands and reach your chin towards the mat. Try that one more time. Two tight fists. Straightening so you feel that nice stretch. And then bend the elbows out to the side. Open up your hands. Really press the nails into the ground. Good, and then two tight fists, lean back, and then keep the two tight fists. You're on your knuckles, reach the thumb edge forward. So you feel that stretch in the inner wrists. Okay, and just hold here, take a moment, take a breath. We're gonna sit again back towards our heels, open and close the hands, and then shake it out side to side, a little bit forward and back. And then come forward to your tabletop, lift your toes, maybe shake out your toes or tap your feet on the floor. Okay, we're gonna curl the toes under. Again, lift the knees an inch off the floor. Push through your hands, like you're pushing your hands forward. You feel the shoulders, you feel the arms engage, and then lift your hips up and back. Okay, take a couple moments in this downward dog. Maybe you can reach the heels a bit closer to the floor. Toes are pointed forward. Good, one more breath. Now my heels are gonna go over to the right this time. Okay, so again, you can stay right here. Heels go over to the right. You just lift that top hip up. Okay, or you bend your back knee and you lift the hip up a little higher, maybe coming onto your left fingertips. And we'll come through center, heels over to the left. Lift that right hip up and back. You can also bend your back knee, get lighter on your right fingertips, and try to find this arc in your body. Okay, so lift the hips up a little higher. And then try that one more time. Heels over to the right. Bend your back knee a little bit. Just until you start to feel that stretch in the low back, the side waist, the ribs. Okay, here's the hard part. Plant your back foot and then see if you can lift your top leg. Okay, you lift it up to the sky here. You can also keep it bent. You can also just be in this lateral bend again. Okay, and then when you're ready, you're gonna straighten the leg, try to come into a side plank of your choice. Try to do what you did on the other side. Really feel that right shoulder on your back. Lift your arm up to the sky. Lift the knee up to the sky and then tap the toes in front of your knee. Tap, tap, tap. Lift it back up. Tap the toes behind you and then plant your foot. Circle your top arm. Nice big circle. Exaggerate this. Open up your chest, hug your elbow into the side of your body, and then look down. You can keep this left hand hovering or you can take it down to the ground. You're going to slowly step your left leg forward as slow as you can. And then set up your lunge. Toes are pointed forward. Again, hands can be on blocks if you need. Sweep your arms up to the sky, high lunge. Okay, reach the arms behind you a little bit more. Hamstring stretch, hands come down, straighten your front leg. Maybe you need to bend your back knee. That's all good. Lengthen your spine. Bend your front knee above your heel. Easy twist. Peel your left arm up. Try to straighten through your back leg a bit more. Come all the way up. Keep rooting down through the big toes. Bend your back knee a little. Take the fingertips to the hamstring. Now use your fingertips to push your hip a bit more forward so you feel that stretch through the psoas and to the front of the hip. Windmill your arms. Take your time. Right into your warrior three. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Cross that leg behind you. Reach the leg out to the side. Bend your bottom knee. And then reach it back up. Good. When you're ready, reach those toes back to the ground. Good. Turn to the right. Skandasana. Face the back of your mat. Take your time. Find your lunge. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Inhale. Moving with your breath. Exhale. Hands come down. Hamstring stretch. Straighten the legs a tiny bit more and energize through your spine. Bend your front knee, easy twist. Peel your right arm up to the sky. Open up your shoulder, open up your pec. Good, come all the way up, keep twisting. Bend your back knee a little bit. Take your fingertips to your hamstring. Push the hamstring and the hip a bit more forward as you reach that left arm up and over. So we deepen, we lengthen through the hip crease area. Windmill the arms. So keep energizing through the arms as you circle them down to the ground. Lift that back leg up so you're in your warrior three. Okay, then we're crossing the leg behind. We're just doing this for a breath. Cross it behind. Good, and then lift it up. Okay, we're just stepping it back into the lunge and turning to the left. Skandasana into your front leg, squat. Face the front of your mat, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Good, reach your heart forward, lower yourself to the ground. You can take your knees down if you'd like. Good, tops of the feet to the floor. Roll the shoulders into the back. You do the cobra or you're coming up into your upward dog. So the knees can be down here or the knees are lifted. Pull the shoulder heads back and see if you can lift the low belly up a bit. So we're not dropping. And then you can take the knees down or go up and over your toes, downward facing dog. Good. Holding here for 3 generous breaths. So again, really trying to root down through the fingers, especially that index finger and thumb. And then I want you to feel your armpits wrapping towards your heart. And try to let go of any tension there that you're holding in your neck, the tops of your shoulders, and in your jaw. When you're ready, let's look forward. You're going to bend your knees. We're going to walk, step, or add a little hop to the top of your mat. Big toes to touch at the top. Fingertips to your shins, lengthen halfway. Inhale. Exhale, fold yourself in. Get a nice stretch there through the back chain of the body. Good, come all the way up, press down through your feet, sweep your arms up to the sky, gaze up lightly with your eyes, and then arms down by your side, Samasthiti. Good, inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze up lightly. Exhale, lengthen, and then fold yourself in, hands behind your legs or down to the ground. Halfway lift, tailbone back, heart reaches forward. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Reach your heart forward first. Take your knees down, chaturanga. Hug the elbows in and back. Reach the heart forward. Try to just go down halfway. Pull your heart through your arms. Good. Open up your chest. Tabletop or up and over the toes to your downward dog. Curl the toes under, hips up and back, downward dog. Good. And each time you do this, you find a little bit more length, a bit more traction or space. So I'm lifting my hips up and back. I'm reaching my feet into the ground, and I'm trying to find more space there in the sides of my waist here in my low back. Take one more good breath here, using the exhales to go a little deeper. Okay, when you're ready, let's look forward, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Big toes touching, inhale. Exhale, fold yourself in, building up the heat. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Inhale, palms are pointed in. And then arms down by your side, Samasthiti. Bend your knees. Let your fingertips graze the ground. Squeeze your legs together if you can. Sweep the arms up. Now lift the arms up a little higher. Start to lift your gaze up towards your hands and feel the back bend in your upper, your mid-back area. Belly comes towards the thigh, squeeze, 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 and then fold yourself in. Straighten your legs a bit more, shoulders away from your ears. Come up halfway, lift, inhale. Take your fingertips to the ground. Step your left leg back. Turn your heel in and down for a warrior one. Bend your front knee and then sweep your arms up. Take a moment here, take a breath. Straighten your front leg. Turn to the left, just pivot to face the back of the mat. So back into your warrior one. Bend your front knee, turn your back toes in, and keep seeing if you can lift up a bit more through the sides of the waist. Take your hands down to the ground, lift your back heel up, and then step back to your plank. Exhaling chaturanga or down to the ground. You do your cobra or your upward dog. Up and over the toes or 1 foot at a time, downward facing dog. Take a nice good breath here. Good. We're going to look forward again. Bend your knees generously. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Stay nice and low. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Fold it in. Bend your knees. Find your chair pose. Okay, so try to squeeze the legs together. Reach the arms up. And I want you to think about lengthening your fingertips, lengthening your arms up a bit more, and see if you can find this work here in the middle upper back area. My belly is going to go towards my thighs. I squeeze them together, and then I straighten the legs and I fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Take your fingertips to the floor. Good, you're going to step your right leg back. Turn your back heel in and down. Bend your front knee, and then sweep your arms up, warrior one. Take a moment, take a breath here. Feel the pose. Straighten your front leg, and then just keep turning to the right. Face the front of the mat. So I'm pivoting on my feet. Bend your front knee, wrap your left hip a bit more forward, and then take the hands down, lift your back heel up, step back to your plank. Chaturanga or down to the ground. You can use your knees Cobra or upward dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Good. Take a nice, good breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come down to your knees for a moment. Open up the knees wide, big toes to touch. Okay, and just weave your left arm underneath your right armpit. You can take your forehead to the ground or to a block. And just see if you can kind of let your left shoulder get a little bit heavier to the ground. If you're feeling, any pressure there in the front of your left shoulder and that collarbone, I want you to feel like you're drawing your left arm bone over to the left side of the mat. So there's more space there for that collarbone. And just see if you can let yourself be a bit heavier. And then we'll switch, lift your head, reach that left arm forward, weave the right arm underneath so the palm is up. Reach your chin or your forehead to the ground or to a block or a pillow, whatever you got. Just until you're starting to feel that stretch into the shoulder, into the arm. And again, you might want to feel like you're pulling that right arm bone over to the right here so you feel more space in that right collarbone. And then we'll lift our head, lift our shoulder, release the arms forward, take a breath, inhale. On the exhale, sink your hips a bit heavier to the heels, get a nice stretch in the tops of your ankles. Good, when you're ready, we'll start to come forward to our tabletop. Good, okay. Index fingers are parallel to one another. If the shoulders are a little tighter today, you can turn the fingertips out a little bit. We're gonna curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Find that downward dog. Heels are going to go over to the left. Okay, again, you're lifting that hip up. Come onto your right fingertips if you want to go further and see if you can lift your top leg up. So any amount that you can, you're lifting that leg up. If you need to, you bend your knee. Okay, when you're ready, come into your side plank. So just start to come forward till your shoulder is above the wrists. Stack your feet. Maybe lift the right arm up. Take the right knee up to the sky. Inhale, tap your big toe down in front of your knee. Inhale, lift it back up. Plant your foot behind. So plant the whole foot down and then circle your top arm. Open up your chest, hug your elbow into your side body. Look down, step your right foot forward as slow as you can. So you come onto your left toes. You step the right foot forward. It gets easier and easier, I promise. Good, toes are pointed forward. Sweep your arms up. Let's find that high lunge. Good, take a moment here, sink your hips first, and then feel those upper inner thighs hugging in. That's gonna help you to kind of find a bit more levelness in the hips. And then you can grab hold of opposite elbows and just draw those elbows back a little bit here. Lengthening through the sides of the neck, gazes forward. And keep reaching through the back heel till you feel that deeper stretch. Take your hands down to blocks of the ground, hamstring stretch, straightening your front leg. You can always come down to your back knee here as well. Okay, we're just working towards extending that front leg. Okay, so think about lifting that right sit bone up and back. So pulling it back, rooting down through your heel. And then inhale here, lengthen. Exhale, full hold a little bit more. We're going to bend the front knee above the heel. Good, left hand underneath the shoulder. Peel the right arm up. Good, and again, I'm just trying to hug those hips in. Press down through the big toes so I can really feel that stretch, that opening, okay, into the upper back, into the shoulders. Okay, and then when you're ready, come up nice and slow. Keep twisting, reverse it. Fingertips behind the leg, reach that left arm up and over just for a breath. I'm going to windmill the arms back into that warrior three. Take your hands down to blocks of the floor. If you're using blocks, highest height underneath your shoulders, or you're on your fingertips or on books. Okay, wrap that left hip down. Okay, and then see again if you can lift. I always take my hand to my belly here, my ribs, and just try to encourage them to come up into my back body. Okay. And then just see if you can, again, find that upper inner thigh. Lift the upper inner thigh up towards the sky. and then hug that bottom inner thigh in towards center. Take one more good breath here. I'm going to reach those toes down to the ground, go slow. I'm going to turn to the left, parallel my feet. I'm going to lunge, lateral lunge into my back leg. Take that leg and cross it behind. So just like we did before. Okay, so I'm lateral lunging into my back leg. Use your arms out to the side, this will help. And then cross that left leg behind, reach, reach, reach. Try it one more time. Lateral bend, lunge into your back leg, and then cross it behind. Try to keep it as straight as you can. You're gonna come all the way down to your hips. So take the foot to the floor. Use your hand to take your left hip to the floor. Try to get your right heel right into that quad as much as you can, as close to it as you can. This left hand's coming beside my hip. I'm gonna sweep my right arm over my head and then sweep the arm in front of the shin and reach for the foot. So try that again. Inhale. And then exhale, get a little bit lower down that shin and really reach for that foot. So again, my left hip is heavy. Good, I'm pressing down through my front foot a lot. Okay, so you can stay here. Okay, I'm reaching the chest a little bit towards the ground. My gaze is straight down. Or you can start to either grab a calf or an ankle, or maybe you grab the outer edge of your foot. So it's called baby grasshopper. Left hand nice and close to the hip. The elbow is hugging my side ribs. I lean forward and maybe lift my bottom leg. Use that upper inner thigh, or maybe I lean forward and I lift my bum off the ground just for fun. Everything's contained. Everything's hugging in towards center. Let's give her a shot. It looks pretty fun. Slowly bring your hip down. Woo. Good. Take a moment. Now here's the hard part. Press into your front foot. Lean and see if you can lift that left leg up into the standing splits. Lift the knee up, let your head fold. Your hands can both be on the ground, or you can be holding onto that foot or ankle if you want. Good, we'll slowly release the hands, step the leg back out, face the front of your mat, plant your hands. This is your vinyasa. It can also be a cat and cow here. So if you just want to take the knees down, lift the tail, lift the heart, that's great too. Exhale, round it in. We'll curl the toes under when you're ready. Find your downward facing dog. Take one breath here, inhale. Good, heels are gonna go over to the right, exhale. So remember, you can stay right here, or you're pressing down through your back foot, and we're starting to lift that left leg up. Okay, so you're trying to lift the toes up to the sky. You can also have a bend in the knee. This hip is different, right? This leg's different. Okay, take a moment here. Come forward to your side plank. So try to get your shoulder above your wrist. Stacking, scattering, you decide. Take your left knee up to the sky. Tap your toes in front. Good, lift the knee up. Tap the toes behind, but then plant your foot. Circle your top arm. It's cactus. Okay, cactus the top arm, open up your chest. And then looking down, stepping forward towards your left thumb. So both hands can come down if you'd like. Come onto your fingertips or blocks. Upper inner thighs are hugging in, reach your arms up. So again, sinking your hips first, and then feel that hug of your upper inner thighs in the center. Taking that left forearm in front this time, grab hold of opposite elbows, and just draw them back a little bit. Try to really contain those ribs. So again, feeling that front body hugging into the back body. Hands are gonna come down to the ground or blocks, hamstring stretch. Last time, I swear. Come onto your front heels, spread your toes. And again, think about this left sit bone lifting up and back, root down through your front heel. Take one more breath here. Exhale. Bend your front knee above your heel, easy twist. Right hand's underneath your shoulder, peel your left arm up. So gaze is up with your bottom eye to your top fingertips. Good, I'm spiraling that heart open up towards the sky. We'll come all the way up just for a moment, twist, reverse it, take the fingertips to the hamstring, reach that arm up. Windmill the arms down to the ground or to blocks, warrior three. Okay, so toes and knees are pointed down. If you need to, look back. Okay, and then again, I'm feeling the wrap of that upper inner thigh up to the sky. And I'm feeling the bottom inner thigh hugging into my center. If you need the hand to encourage the ribs and the belly to lift, take it there. One more breath. We're going to reach those toes down to the ground as slowly as you can. Turn to the right side of your mat. Okay, so lunging into your back leg. Cross that leg behind 3 times. I'm going to come this way. Okay, so bending and then crossing that leg behind. And use your arms to help you with your balance. Lunge, it's going to take a few tries. Cross it behind. And then slowly take the foot down, take the hand down, take the hip down. Whew. Okay, take that heel nice and close to your thigh. Okay, and I'm taking this right hand closer to my hip. Sweep that left arm up over your head and then sweep it in front of your shin, reach for your foot. So try this 2 more times, reach it up, inhale, exhale, bring it over to the left. One more time, inhale, exhale. So you're reaching here, take this right hand nice and close to your hip. You're reaching for the foot. Okay, maybe you can grab your ankle or your calf. Maybe you can grab the outer edge of your foot. I'm using the inner lining of my leg. I'm lifting that right leg up. Stay here, or you're leaning forward. Really root into your front heel and see if you can lift your hip up. So it's a lot of inner thigh stuff that we've been working on right today. Lift that inner thigh up and squeeze the legs together. Here is going to help. And then slowly bring it down. Whew, here's the hard part. Lean into that left foot. See if you can lift the right leg up to the sky. Come into that standing splits. Let your head go if that feels okay. Take one more breath. I'm going to slowly extend that leg forward. Face the front of your mat. Step back, either cat and cow or your vinyasa. Upward dog or cobra, downward dog. Come down to your knees nice and slowly. This is where you might want your pillow or your bolster here or your blocks. We're going to come into either a nice supported frog. So the knees are going to go wide. Okay, my pelvis is going to come down to the pillow. Then come down to my forearms. I can take a block underneath my head if I like, okay? Nice and supported. If you want more of a stretch here in your inner thighs, you can use this bolster to just support your arms. You're gonna take your knees out in line with your hips, okay? Try to make sure you're not too far forward or you're not too far back, but the hips are in line with your knees. But if you would like just a wider child's pose, that's fine too. You can take the bolster in between your legs, underneath your torso here as well, okay? So you decide, we're gonna hold for 8 good breaths. So frog position or a wider child's pose. And just closing down through the eyes here, you settle your breath, and you find that nice balanced breath. It's gonna help calm you down a bit, okay? You're not gonna be rushing so quickly to get out of a pose that can bring up some challenging things. Okay? It can bring up some thoughts. It can bring up some emotions. It can bring up some different sensations that we, sometimes don't like to sit in. So use your breath. It will calm you down. Let's do one more here. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly curl the toes under. Bring your knees in towards center. You can do one at a time or both at the same time. Sit back towards your heels on the tops of your feet. Take a moment here. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then whenever you're ready, we'll come onto one hip. Extend the legs forward. You're going to take the bolster underneath your hips this time. So we're going to come onto our back. You're going to take your bolster horizontal on the mat underneath your pelvis. And just taking a few moments here. So you can knock your knees into center if that feels okay. If not, your knees will stay pointed up. The hands can be on your belly or in a cactus position here. And feel free to move around if that feels natural to you right now. Just kind of massaging through the glutes, the back of your pelvis, and just trying to let the low back settle. Try to find a softness in the face, a heaviness in the back of your skull. And you might want to stay here for a little bit longer. There's no rush to get out of any of these shapes. But when you're ready, you're going to start to make your way into your final rest. And your final rest might be legs up a wall, legs on a chair. Maybe you extend your legs right here, and this is where you stay. If you'd like, you can press down through the feet, lift the hips, and bring the bolster forward underneath your knees. You might use a blanket over your body or underneath your head. You want to make these poses feel really supported, really comfortable, very cozy, so that you can actually relax. Take the arms down by your side with the palms up so that you're open to receiving whatever it is that this practice brought up for you today. And that's all we want out of the practice, right? Every day, just to kind of learn something new about ourselves, to just connect with ourselves on a deeper level. Just see if you can relax through the fingertips and through the toes. Feel this release in the pelvis. And try to let go of any tension you're holding in your shoulders, in your chest. Allowing yourself to absorb. And I'm going to leave you here today to stay for as long as you need. There's no rush. Thank all of you so much for sharing your energy this morning. I hope you have a lovely day. Namaste.